Ever been blindsided by someone's sudden explosion of anger that seems to come from nowhere? And chances are you come into contact with the sharp edge of narcissistic rage. Now today we're going to reveal the layers of narcissistic rage using the TV series In Treatment. Each episode represents tension between the therapist, Dr. Brooke Taylor, and a patient named Colin, who he provides this fascinating case study on narcissistic rage.
He's had emotional outbursts, impulse control problems, depression, threats of violence.
God, Carla, come on.
The facts are the facts.
And later, I'll reveal a major twist in Colin's therapy sessions. A moment like that's just so unexpected, it caught me off guard. It shows the complexity of understanding the full scope of narcissistic rage. At the core of narcissism lies a grandiose sense of self-importance.
So it's not all pro bono then?
Oh, no. You're my first, actually.
No shit. Oh, that's great, because I've never gotten free therapy before. We can figure this out together.
Colin's interactions frequently showcase this inflated self-regard. He demonstrates an expectation of special treatment and a tendency to manipulate conversations to center around himself.
Oh, I'm Mr. Peace on Earth. I was raised by hippies, full stop. A commune, the whole bit. And that outlook, you know, that openness, trust, compassion, that steered me throughout my life.
Yet there's this fragile ego beneath the surface of Colin's confident and sometimes aggressive displays. His intense vulnerability and outbursts often just overshadow his desperation for validation and recognition.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you dreading this?
I'm not dreading this at all.
So 1 then.
This fragility is an intrinsic aspect of narcissism, where self-esteem is both inflated and brittle, leaving Colin in a paradoxical state of grandiosity and insecurity.
How's the week been?
Good. Yeah, I've been swimming a lot, which is nice. Trying to get back in shape. And I'm sorry about last week.
Now, narcissistic rage is characterized by sudden and intense anger, and it's a defense mechanism triggered when the narcissist's perceived superiority is questioned or threatened. It acts as like a fortress safeguarding the delicate self-esteem. Colin's volatile reactions, especially when faced with perceived criticism from his therapist, Brooke, are a protective mechanism.
Now you want to talk about what? My dramatic emotional breakdown. Well, that makes sense. Juicy. Something to sink your teeth into, psychologically speaking.
Now let's dissect narcissistic rage to its core. Narcissistic rage stems from profound insecurity. The self-worth of a narcissist might be compared to being like a castle built on sand. It's impressive on the surface, but dangerously vulnerable to even the slightest disturbances.
Oh, so you're omnipotent. Wonderful. Congratulations.
I also know you enough to know how you lash out when you feel vulnerable and exposed.
Oh, so you won't mind me telling you that your head's buried up your own ass then?
When an individual like Colin lashes out, it's an act of desperation, a frantic effort to fortify his facade of grandeur as it faces the threat of collapse.
People show me the ugliest sides of themselves all the time. I can still like them.
I don't care if you like me!
Now, what ignites this rage? For someone entangled in narcissism, even the mildest critique or setback is not merely an inconvenience. It's like an existential threat. In Colin's case, these incidents are bigger than the world surrounding him. They don't simply disrupt his day. They challenge the narrative he's constructed about himself, prompting an explosive response to defend his self-concept.
I'm just an evil person.
No one is saying that, Colin. Calm down.
Yeah, everyone is saying that.
His outbursts aren't just reactions to the immediate words or actions of his therapist. They're the culmination of long-standing internalized turmoil, often bearing little relation to the present moment, but everything to do with his deeper psychological struggles.
Why am I this way? My parents thought I was a fool, and they said as much over and over and over. And everything I did, everything was to prove them wrong.
Self-pity isn't going to get you anywhere.
In these explosive moments, narcissists like Colin often resort to projection, attributing their own vulnerabilities to others. And this is not merely a defensive maneuver to evade responsibility.
From a mental health professional standpoint, I am not in control of what other people think about me.
First of all, fuck everyone is not what I would refer to as a healthy mindset.
We're going to dissect, I think, two pivotal scenes that lay bare the primal force of Colin's narcissistic rage. The first scene places us in the middle of a tense interaction between Colin and Brooke. And Brooke's questions, they're meant to gently examine the layers of Colin's complex personality, but they've inadvertently hit a nerve.
Why can't you bear to be sincere with me?
Sincerely? Fuck you.
There we go. Now that's something. It's hostility, but at least it's genuine.
Oh, you did it, Doc. You broke through.
Fast forward to a session in week 5, and we witness another bout of rage. Colin's fury ignites as Brooke, upholding her professional duty, refuses to endorse his distorted self-assessment.
I got a call from my probation officer. She told me you didn't sign off.
That's right.
How you asshole!
I'm an asshole. You're an asshole.
You can't say that.
Now, these dramatic flare-ups in treatment resonate with the concept of narcissistic injury, and it's a term coined by Heinz Kohut. This injury occurs when a narcissist's inflated self-concept is confronted, often leading to an aggressive defense to reassert their grandiosity. And Colin's reactions are illustrative of how minor provocations can detonate profound anger in those with narcissistic tendencies. Now, delving even deeper, as Otto Kernberg posits, the issue extends beyond mere outrage. These eruptions are desperate bids for dominance and control from an underlying sense of inadequacy and an internal just emptiness and void.
You know, you're virtuous and you're smart and you're talented. The lie is all I have. There's nothing here. I'm not good at anything.
Colin becomes this embodiment of the theories on narcissistic rage. His anger is a reaction to the threat to his ego, and his intense outbursts are windows into his concealed vulnerabilities.
I need you to hear the truth.
Oh, so you're omnipotent. Wonderful. Congratulations.
I also know you enough to know how you lash out when you feel vulnerable and exposed.
Oh, so you won't mind me telling you that your head's buried up your own ass then?
He personifies what Otto Finichel described as the narcissistic supply. And it's this limitless need for constant attention and affirmation. And when this supply is disrupted, Colin's reaction is intense and it's volatile, showcasing the profound impact of the loss of this validation.
You lured me in. You said this is a safe space. Be honest. Show me who you are. And then I did, and you said shame on you.
No, that's not true.
Well, you think you're perfect?
Colin's reactions are more than just temper outbursts. They're strategic avoidances of painful self-reflection and recognition of his imperfections. He's just unwilling to look within. This behavior is characteristic of narcissistic personality disorder, highlighting a defense mechanism central to the disorder's pathology. Now, narcissistic rage does more than just cause a scene. It can shake the bedrock of relationships at home and work. Now look at how Colin acts in week 2. He's not taking the blame for anything. Instead, he's dumping his mistakes onto Brooke, his therapist.
So with all of your difficulties, you never thought to take a look to see whether you might be the cause?
This is a classic move to dodge owning up to his issues, and it can lead to deep rifts and ongoing fights. This reluctance to accept fault is pretty common in narcissists. They get stuck in this loop of pointing fingers and denying any wrongdoing which drives people away, messing up any chance of real closeness or trust. Colin's behavior also reveals this deep personal turmoil that narcissistic rage, it often masks. Colin's facade slips in a striking scene from week 4. He shows remorse, a rare acknowledgement of the emotional toll his actions have taken, not only on others, but also on himself as well.
I want you to like me, not just because of the court thing, but because I like you. You know, you're the type of person I'd like to impress. I tried to make that happen. I failed. I'm sorry.
It's where the potential for change ignites. Colin's remorse signifies the internal conflict that comes with narcissistic rage, a constant battle between the desire for dominance and the reality of one's own vulnerability.
It makes me want to take advantage of them. It makes me want to punish them, to find some way for them to pay the price for just how stupid they are.
Change, however, is slow, and often it's not just this linear process. In week 6, we see Colin contemplatively considering the consequences of his actions. This moment is also, it's just pivotal. It hints at Colin coming to grips with his reality. It reveals a crack in the armor of grandiosity that this Colin, he usually and typically wears. This softer side we see is something people often miss about narcissistic behavior.
Look, thank you for hearing me out, for giving me a chance or a second chance, third chance, I'm not sure.
Psychoanalysis tells us that anger is really just a way to fend off feelings of shame. When Colin says he's sorry, it's more than just words of regret. It's a rare moment where he shows the shaky self-esteem hidden by his brutal actions. And this small step towards owning up shows that people with narcissistic traits, they can change. It's difficult, but they can.
I regret calling you a narcissist. It was rash, and I believe incorrect. Narcissists can't see themselves. You can.
I'll drink to that.
In the broader context of therapy, this scene underscores the importance of patience and persistence. Change in therapy usually, and especially with personality disorders like narcissism, can be really slow and really non-linear. Moments like these are pivotal.
You are an asshole.
Well, sure, a little bit. There are people born with no legs, Brooke. Wouldn't point that out to them like it's breaking news.
Today we've unpacked narcissistic rage, using Colin from In Treatment as our guide. His raw and turbulent outbursts aren't just for drama. They peel back the curtain on the intense inner conflict that drives these behaviors. But why bother understanding all this? Because narcissism isn't just someone else's issue. It touches many lives, and understanding it is crucial for all of us. Think about how narcissism has shown up in your life or in the lives of those around you. Have you seen hints of Colin's struggles in your own world? Jump into the comments below and share your story, and let's dive into this meaningful conversation. Your insights and experiences could shine a light on someone else. Remember, the world of human behavior, it's vast and complex. But by understanding its psychology, we can navigate it with greater empathy and insight. Until next time, take care and keep exploring the depths of the human mind.